think that the reason that there are few creative women in upper management is because, for a few reasons, we have children, and it becomes very difficult to manage the pressures of the job and have kids. But if you can do that, and you have someone at home who can help you, I think that some women don't find management favorable to them, and they choose to go freelance and do other things with their time. So I think that's what why people drop out over time. But we've got plenty. Every place I've ever worked has had plenty of females and plenty of female creatives. But I think it's also really important to have women in leadership positions where they can make decisions and influence decisions in the agency, because in a traditionally male-led industry, it's easy for things to go out the door that are only seen through a male lens, and especially when there's only one woman, around. So I think that it's really important for women to be either part of that decision-making process or to be heard when decisions are being made, especially when 80% of marketing is going out to women, or 80% of women are making or informing purchasing decisions. It's really critical to have that influence.
It's important to come out as a feminist in the office.
Yeah, sure. So I can talk about this. It is very valuable to come out as a feminist in your workplace. I have found it as a means for protection and security. I entered the workforce very aware of the challenges that women face in the workforce. And so talking about it was something that kind of helped me improve my career. I worked in multinationals before I did startup things. So I was at Citigroup, and then I was at Thomson Reuters, and I was always that girl. Like that girl that would talk about sexual harassment, and that girl that would talk about why are there no women on the leadership team, and that girl that emailed the entire company when someone made a rape joke. I did really well. Nobody fucked with me. And now I'm here, and I've got this awesome startup, and it's all about feminist technology and all that kind of stuff. So I would just encourage every man and woman to openly discuss inequality in the workforce, about gender, race, sexuality, and be that person, because you are going to be a stronger employee, and you're also going to create a kind of circle where people are going to know that you're serious about this stuff, and they're not going to hurt you or bring that stuff up, and you can kind of change the office culture by making it something that you're continuously trying to improve.
At a higher level, I worked at a company many years ago, and it was an assignment for moms. And my female partner and I, and she's here, so she can attest to this somewhere. My female partner and I came up with some campaigns, and our male ECD told us, "You got it all wrong. The one thing moms wants to do is they want to go faster and faster and do more with their day." And we're talking about half of these women are working moms. I'm going, really? And I said, I think that really, women would really like a brand that would give them a little bit of a break. And he's like, no, you got it all wrong. My wife, she likes to move, go, go, go. And so we get together and make this campaign that's go, go, go. And I was not happy about it. And he kept on saying, "You're letting your personal views get in the way of this." Because, of course, his personal view was the right one, the truth. And I was just on the outside of this marketing to women. And and so he took it to the client, and it died a swift death. And I wasn't there, it laughed him out the door. So it would have been valuable, I think, for him and for the client to pay attention to a mom when he's advertising to moms.
Assert yourself as a woman, you're less well-liked. And if you don't assert yourself, then you're not seen as competent. And it's such a double standard.
That's a tough balance. I think you try and come off as competent, especially in the discipline that you've been hired to run in your company. But it's a really tough balance, because I in my reviews a lot of times I get accused of being, you're too confident, you're too resolute in how you think, and I'll say, okay, maybe I should temper that, maybe I should be a little bit more. But then I realize the men in the room are way more forceful and resolute in their opinions, and so it's really interesting. There is that double standard there. And especially in the industry I'm in, which is very male-led and is going to be probably for a very long time. But it's a tough one, and I think you have to find an environment that embraces it, and I think immediately if you're in an environment that is not going to embrace it, and then you have to make a decision if you're going to compromise or if you're going to get out.
I just went after things that I was passionate about, And if you're passionate about it and you love it, you kind of rise to the top. And I think people, regardless of your gender, will support you. That's the hope. But it was always men who kind of plucked me out of oblivion to say, you should do this, I trust you, and I want you to do it. And I was always kind of kicking and screaming, but I ended up doing that. But now that I'm in this, like I was at a big meeting down in LA, I won't mention the company, but you all know about it. And I presented my business model, because I'm always out raising money, and all these men were sitting around the table, and they were like, huh, who helped you with this business model? And I said, well, I have a controller who's an Excel jockey, because I'm not very good at Excel. And they said, no, I mean, who helped you come up with the whole idea? And I said, well, it was just me, and time, and making mistakes. They're like, wow, well, kudos to you. And I thought, well, maybe because I don't have an MBA, or because I excused it. And then as they walked me out, they said, so you'll be back next week? And I said, yes. And they said, well, so who watches your kids when you travel? And I said, well, I have a babysitter. And yeah, and they're like, okay, well, the bathroom's right there by the elevators, and you can validate the parking there, and I'll see you next week. I was like, great, thank you. And I thought, oh, they're so nice and polite and everything. And I thought, if you asked any of them if they really view women as equals, you know they're gonna say yes. They were just being polite. But at the same time, I thought, oh, it's because I'm a filmmaker and no MBA. And then I thought, no, I think it's because I'm a woman. And so it exists. I'm on panels all the time. This is the first panel I've been on with all women. Usually I'm the only girl, and the only other girl in the room is serving the coffee. And so it's, you know, you gotta keep doing it.
Negotiating, learn some best practices, right? Or even take a sales class. Because a lot of times women are uncomfortable with making the ask. I mean, like, I know when I started fundraising, I was really uncomfortable asking for money. And then I just started to do it, and it got a lot better. But I've also taken sales classes without having a sales background, and that's helped me immensely in terms of learning how to negotiate from like a business sense, not just a personal sense.
I wish they taught it in school, because it is, I think everybody has a hard, not everybody, so many people do, men and women. I'm the CEO of IndieFlix, so I get a lot of people who come to me and say, so I've been here, and I can tell they're really uncomfortable, and they're like, and I was just thinking, and it's like, it's so hard for them, like, you want to raise? It's like, okay, just because it's like so much time has come by, but let's talk about it. And I try to make them more comfortable, but my dad always said the answer is always no unless you ask. And so I didn't have the benefit of a fabulous app and software and, you know, research and information. So it was just kind of like, be ballsy, go in there, be yourself. But, you know, coaching is really helpful. Mentor is kind of to me, in my mind, is a big responsibility. If someone says, will you mentor me? I feel like I have to make sure that I'm consistent, I'm going to be there for them and stable and help them. I actually started to put together people who are kind of on my board of my personal life, they're advisors, and I ask of them only that they tell me the truth. And that if I ping them for a question, that just give me your honest feedback. And of course, everyone I've asked this said, that's all I have to do. I'm like, that's all you have to do. And I picked really good people, like whether someone was in finance, another person in real estate, someone else who I knew a lot of high-level people, and I kind of created this board for my life, and they're there, and I trust them, and I can call them anytime, and they get right back to me, and they're straight with me, but they go so far beyond that, but the expectation isn't there, and that really helps because you feel like you're not alone. Technology, I will say, technology and the independent space, wide open for women to go in and do whatever they want. You know, you can tell a great story and make a movie for very little money now, and I really advocate for that. I want us to keep our budgets down because the market can't bear high budgets right now. Tell our story, there's no one to stop us. We're our own gatekeepers, we can afford the equipment, we can do all of it from basically our bedrooms, at our desks, on our laptops. And we can tell those stories, and they can have strong women leads, and we can direct, write, do anything, and no one can stop us now. Sure. So the Empowerment Project is a little movie that I produced. It's about ordinary women doing extraordinary things, and it was kind of a response to how women are portrayed in the media. It seems that the youth are only exposed to like Kim Kardashian, or you have to, what you need to be is look a certain way, and the red carpet or the cover of a magazine is what is valued these days. And we really wanted to show that there are so many extraordinary women. We are all extraordinary, and whether you choose to be a stay-at-home mom or you want to strive to do anything in the STEM fields, go for it. And we got a lot of research and found that less than, 1% of pilots for Alaska are women, because there aren't women to hire, because they're discouraged from following those paths. And so we wanted to make a movie. It was a really simple concept. We made it for about $70,000, and we just wanted to put ordinary women on a big screen and show how cool that was. And we launched it in September. We've had 200 screenings. Nordstrom came aboard. We've screened at the Memorial, the Federal Reserve, the Department of Transportation, where Pixar, Razorfish. We're just streaming it and screening it everywhere, and it has kind of sparked a great conversation. So it's very empowering.